So these are some of the things that people need to take into consideration when they're starting a new small business. How business works is people want stuff done. They can't do it all themselves. And you're going to sell a product or a service that's going to help them make it easier. Assuming you're making a small business, you're going to be needing to make sure it's something that you can afford to do, something that's more agile than a big bloated business that's employing a lot of people. And a lot of small businesses, it'll be like a part-time job. So you can do it on top of a full-time job or on top of a part-time job. And this is good because it means you've got a guaranteed income. So if the business doesn't do too well in the first month, you're covered. But that leads me to the first question. Is it the right time to start a small business? Where are you standing in life? I mean, if you're going to start out with debt and you want to try and make money to try and pay off this debt by starting a business, you're going about it the wrong way. The best thing you can do is get a job and try and gradually save up an emergency fund and save up a little bit of cash so you're able to start the business on top of that. You've got cost, quality, and time. So, for example, if you're going to do a job that's quick and well made, you're going to have to invest a bit more money in it. Or if you're going to do something that's going to take a small amount of investment cash-wise, then you've got to invest a lot of time and produce high quality to generally make it work. Now, businesses are all about supply and demand. Is what you're selling in demand? Like, who's your customer? And is business going to be business to business? Is it going to be business to customer? If your market's already saturated, then it might not be a good idea to get involved with that market. And doing a bit of research beforehand can definitely help you prevent these mistakes happening. So, for example, we take the games platform Steam. It's on the PC, and there's a lot of people that'll make a game by themselves, or a small studio release it and expect to make a lot of money. But in reality, 50% of Steam's revenue is only from the top 100 games. And they're going to be AAA games like your Grand Theft Autos and your Red Dead Redemptions. Your 4-year indie passion project's not going to be able to compete physically with the budget of the advertising on these things alone, never mind the actual quality of the game. Taxes. Just pay your taxes. Trust me, it's not worth the hassle of trying to avoid it. The benefit of not paying your taxes far outweighs the penalties you'll get if you get caught. If you're smart with a business, you'll open a business bank account as well, get some accounting software, and get some insurance. Do some research on what you need to start a business. Knowing all these things beforehand will definitely help you navigate the murky waters, because in the first year, it's going to be tough. Do you need a business plan? Technically, no, but it is helpful. It's a good idea to do a business plan before you even start a business, because if you don't, then you're not going to have any idea of direction of where to go. There is a caveat which you should be able to pivot. You shouldn't stick to the plan religiously, but having a business plan helps you point you in the right direction and gives you something you can present to other people as well. It's always a good idea to do a bit of SWOT analysis, and it might take a night, but it'll pay dividends in the amount of research you do, and you'll have a better idea of what your strengths and weaknesses are as a small business. Do a cost analysis before jumping into anything. Prep can save you more money than sales potentially. There's a UK statistic from 2022 which says that 38% of businesses fail because they ran out of cash or failed to raise new capital. So a bit of preparation helps you in the long run. Oh, and there's one other thing. If you want to leave a comment about any small businesses you're starting, any tips you can give the community, then it'll be much appreciated. Marketing is everything. There's an old saying that it's 5% quality of product, 5% luck, and 90% marketing. It doesn't matter if you're painting the Mona Lisa in your house. If you're not able to market it out to the right people, then it's going to be worthless. You can be stubborn, no one's stopping you, but if you decide to carve your own path, then you're playing it on hard mode, and it's your choice to do that. There's two things you need in business. The first one is charisma to sell things. The second thing is to have the mathematical skills to make sure the books are balanced at the end of the month. Things like marketing are especially important if you've got an online business. If you don't have a brick and mortar shop, then it's going to be mostly marketing. And if you're selling a digital product, then you've got an advantage there because it's something you can make once and sell again and again and again. Whereas if you're actually physically making something, then you've got your stock tied up in inventory, you've got it tied up in space, rental, the costs start piling up. You should understand your customers, and the best way to do that is to make customer avatars and figure out who your audience is. What are their spending habits? What do they do at the weekends? What social media do they use? What sort of life story do they have? If you can make 5 or 6 of these customer avatars, you'll have a better idea of who you're selling to, and then you can market and change your product to sell to them. For example, if you're thinking you're going to sell something to students, most of them don't have a lot of money, so you're going to have to make something cheap and something that's readily available. And you're going to have to sacrifice on quality. Whereas if you're selling something to an expensive market, for example, furniture or a car, you're going to make less sales, but you're going to counteract that by having a higher profit. And it's worth noting, in the UK, 20% of small businesses fail within the first year, and around 60% of the businesses fail within the first 3 years. So you should always have an exit strategy, a backup plan. If your small business doesn't turn a profit, you have to close it down within the first 12 months. Make sure you've not put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you've got access to a full-time job, or you've got a backup plan, because if you're only relying on one source, then that's gambling a lot. The best thing you can do is establish the business, build it up in your spare time, and when it gets to a point that it's more profitable than your main job, then that's the tipping point. You can kind of transition into the business from there, but it's better to start small scale and build it up than it is to put all your money into big scale and then lose it. And with your business, try to be flexible as well. You should be able to follow a business plan, but you should be able to pivot if there's any great opportunities that arise. For example, if you're a freelance video editor, you're trying to sell your services to someone, and then someone says, "Oh, do you design thumbnails as well?" You say, "Yeah, of course." "And do you have experience with graphic design?" "I hope so." If not, you'd say, "Okay, I can't do that, but I know someone that does." Ask the clients on to someone else, and then you'll be able to build up a reputation as someone that is a good connection to have. Now, with your business, you should make sure it's scalable. Starting off, you're going to try and sell to one person or sell to 10 people. And can the infrastructure of the business that sells to 10 people cope with selling to 10,000 people within the same time period? You've got to be able to make sure that you can scale it up, because if it is successful, congratulations, but the scaling is one of the biggest teething problems you'll get once you get the initial success. Well, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye.